Don't choose the easy path. The easy way of doing things is not worth it. One of the biggest regrets of my life is that I stayed home and played sick instead of going to school 6 years ago. Every school morning, I woke up and think to myself, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to meet the same bullies. I don't want to feel the way that I'm kind of worthless. I don't want to get bored. And quite frankly, I had a bully back then and I didn't really feel welcome in my class. And with that, I kind of had some mental problems. So I stayed at home and played Fortnite instead, actually. So you can imagine other people are going to school, getting ready to take their bus, and I'm saying to my mother, yeah, I've got a really bad stomach ache. So instead, I laid 2 more hours in bed until my mom was actually going downstairs to work. And then I sat on my laptop and played Fortnite. So with that, you can kind of imagine how I didn't get any development through social interaction, for example. The other guys, the athlete was now meeting up with other guys to maybe play football, right? And I was sitting at home playing Fortnite by myself. These guys actually developed their social skills and even their physical skills, while I was just sitting in the same chair as always, doing the same thing as always, and then wasting my life away, quite frankly. You played Minecraft, right? So in there, imagine it's getting nighttime. And now you have two choices. You can hide in your little dirt hut for 10 minutes until the sun comes out again and the monsters disappear. Or you actually go out and try to hunt some monsters. Of course, you could die during that, but instead, as a return, you would get experience and maybe even some loot, right? And imagine that one guy just sits in his dirt hut for 10 minutes, is bored out of his mind, doesn't get anything during that time, and the other guy actually has fun fighting these monsters, killing the zombies, and then getting experience from that he can then use later in the game to enchant his pickaxe. You get my point, right? Your room is actually your enemy. The more time you spend in your room, the less skills you actually develop. Even though you think, okay, I'm watching YouTube and I'm educating myself, nothing really replaces the experience that you could get in real life by talking to people, by talking to the grandpa which sits at the cafe and asking him for advice, asking him to tell you a story. Imagine how much value you could actually pull out of just one visit at a cafe from spending $3 on a coffee. Like suddenly you talk to the waitress, right? And you get some social skills through that. You actually overcome your fear of talking to strangers because you go there for the first time. Then you maybe even have some small talk with other people, and with that get some value because they tell you things about their life. For example, through the advice of the grandpa, right? What this really boils down to is that you have to kind of value your time and do the things that seem hard to you, which you don't want to do actually, that seem kind of unattractive for you. So for example, there was this trip to France a good 2 years ago, and there were few people actually wanting to go. But still, to this day, I can't understand why they wouldn't go. Instead of them, now I went, and I got into crazy situations with French guys, and then had this amazing time. It was like a movie project. We were filming our own films, our own little movies. And during that time, we had an amazing time. We were laughing a bunch. We were getting our creative thoughts out. We get access to a terrific museum, which was about the Second World War and how many French people died on the coasts. And suddenly you just learned about the world, how the world works. Then you get to level up your social skills, kind of how spontaneous you can be, even if you kind of try to record these movies, right? Take the chances that are given to you and even hop around in your early days to find out what you like, and also you grow through every interaction. It's, for example, you could go to get a job as a waiter right now at a nearby restaurant and then kind of learn about how work is made and how much your time is actually worth. I used to work at this quite luxurious place in my city. During that time, I was working my ass off and trying to be like this crazy waiter, but the chef scrambled all of the time and was really stressful about the jobs. And I didn't even get paid my tips. So in there you can really take away what life really means and get experience through that. And the experience we want to have because it will always give us some return of investment in the future, right? If you do a thing once, then you get a return of investment further down the line because now you actually know some things about the topic you've done. The last note I've got written down is you are better than the easy stuff. If you look in your class to your right, maybe there's a guy playing Brawl Stars on his phone or on his iPad, and he's doing the easy thing because he gets this cheap dopamine by playing the game. He doesn't listen to the teacher, which would take some discipline and you had to give some attention to it, even though it was boring. But now he lowers his attention span through all the little effects. And if you listen to the teacher, you actually skill that. You get better at keeping patience. You get better at listening and taking out the important bits. But everyone could do the easy thing, right? Everyone could just go onto his phone and play some Brawl Stars to kill time. But the things that are quite hard, those are the things that are worth doing, right? These aren't the tasks that everyone can do. It actually takes some more investment of time to get into the top 20% of this niche. Imagine a football pro which is getting into the high leagues and spent most of his life to get there. That's trained every day for 6 hours a day until he finally got there. It was quite the hard thing. But if you now imagine if it were easy, if it was this easy task which everybody could just do in a week maybe, then suddenly the value of becoming a football pro would just drop to zero because everybody could do it, right? So keep in mind that everybody could do the easy things, but the things that do take some determination, those are harder, and most of the people you meet in everyday life won't be ready to sacrifice that much effort and time for the thing you want to do. It wouldn't be worth it if it were easy. If everybody could just get their dream body in 1 week, then it kind of wouldn't mean anything. But the guy that has spent 10 years on his body to get his dream physique, now this actually counts for something. Because only few people can actually get there. So do the hard things. And don't be scared of taking risks. Risks are what you grow through, especially. I've been scared of taking risk for a lot of my life because it always seemed so, okay, no, I could lose this, and after I lose this, then it's going to be so horrible because I can't do this anymore. But imagine what you would gain from taking that risk. If you have a risk, you would get a huge return of investment, right? Because if you have a risk, that means it's kind of hard getting there. The achievements, the things that you get back from the goal, they are so big that there has to be this chance of failing to kind of counter it out. But from a growth standpoint, if you fail at the thing, okay, you have to have a new challenge now and you grow through that challenge. And after 2 weeks, it's gone. You just forgot about that you even had this problem. But if you succeed, then suddenly you get catapulted meters ahead of where you were and made this success and took a lesson with it. I hope this helps you. And as I said, I'm making this video because I've wasted lots of my time on playing Fortnite, especially. And I wish that the people which are kind of waiting in their rooms right now, which are not doing anything, not even, which are doing the things they don't even enjoy, just to kill time. Because the other things seem kind of scary. Do the scary things. I know it sounds kind of counterproductive, but what do the things that make you comfortable actually give you, like, further down in life? Value your time. Until then, see you soon and stay safe.